For decades, pelvic lymph node dissection, or PLND, has been the dominant clinical method for staging prostate cancer during a radical prostatectomy. It is a highly invasive procedure. Surgeons navigate a dense, unforgiving matrix of major pelvic vessels and nerves to excise lymphatic tissue, seeking microscopic evidence of cancer spread. This visualization maps the core paradox of the procedure. While extracting this tissue is highly accurate at providing staging data, two major randomized controlled trials have demonstrated that performing this dissection offers zero primary benefit to biochemical recurrence-free survival. Patients undergo longer operative times and take on severe risks to acquire this data, including deep venous thrombosis, major vascular injury, and the formation of lymphoceles. We are left with a direct clinical contradiction. Surgeons are performing a procedure with guaranteed perioperative morbidity that does not prove to extend the patient's recurrence-free survival. To determine exactly who should undergo this surgery, practitioners rely on clinical guidelines published by organizations like the NCCN, the European Association of Urology, and the AUA. Currently, there are 15 separate major international guidelines. This matrix plots the 15 leading oncological and urological societies against standard clinical decision points. Synthesizing these into a single standard of care should be straightforward. It isn't. When reviewing the exact same randomized trial data regarding survival benefits, these distinct regulatory bodies arrive at conflicting recommendations. The consensus breaks down specifically at patient selection. The global medical community is split into two distinct camps over who actually requires this operation. There is no unified protocol. Practicing urologists are forced to navigate a fractured landscape, weighing surgical harm against the pursuit of diagnostic data. Before we analyze the disagreement, we must look at the point where these societies align, the surgical template itself. Looking at the template column, 10 of the 15 guidelines agree that if a lymph node dissection is performed, it must be an extended template, or EPLND, to maximize nodal yield. This map outlines the strict anatomical zones a surgeon must clear to qualify the dissection as extended. The surgeon must remove the node packets overlying the external iliac artery and vein, and carefully dissect the nodes both medial and lateral to the internal iliac artery. Physically extracting this large volume of lymphatic tissue is the only way to accurately stage the disease locally, yet doing so still fails to improve survival outcomes. The medical community agrees on exactly how deep to cut, while knowing the cut will not cure. The sole value of the extended template is pure data gathering. The conflict begins when deciding which patients should actually undergo this data gathering, particularly in the intermediate and high-risk cohorts. The NCCN and AUA endorse a mathematical approach, using predictive nomograms to calculate risk, mandating surgery if a threshold is met. Conversely, the EAU and Swedish guidelines dropped recommendations for routine dissection. Major European bodies are now actively advising against a surgical procedure that U.S. organizations mandate for the exact same risk profiles. The clinical trial data regarding surgery hasn't changed. So what prompted the European Association of Urology to abandon a decades-old standard? The fracture was caused by a disruptive imaging technology that offers an alternative to surgical data gathering. That technology is PSMA PET-CT, a highly specific molecular imaging modality that is shifting how urologists approach preoperative staging. Instead of relying on surgical extraction to find the cancer, targeted radioactive agents directly attach to tumor cells, causing the lesions to emit a bright, localized signal on a PET scan. The EAU's logic is straightforward. PSMA PET is incredibly specific. Clinicians can now confidently map macroscopic disease non-invasively, reducing the need for an extended lymph node dissection. However, this logic faces a technical limitation known as the ME-N0 gap, or molecular imaging N0 stage. PSMA PET struggles with sensitivity at the microscopic level. It frequently fails to detect micrometastatic lymph nodes smaller than 5 millimeters in diameter, producing false negatives. This is exactly why the NCCN maintains its surgical mandate. If a patient's scan is clean, but a nomogram flags them as high risk, surgeons must operate to locate those hidden micrometastases. Surgery will uncover the microscopic disease that imaging misses. But locating those specific cells is only clinically useful if the discovery actually changes what happens to the patient next. Let's track a clinical pathway. A patient tests negative on PSMA PET, undergoes the extended dissection, and pathology confirms node-positive disease. Historically, this immediately triggered adjuvant radiotherapy, but that is no longer the standard. Recent meta-analyses reveal that immediately applying adjuvant radiotherapy offers zero survival benefit compared to early salvage radiotherapy, while increasing toxic side effects. Instead, if the patient's postoperative PSA drops to undetectable levels, all 15 guidelines agree that observation is an appropriate path, regardless of the positive nodes found. The trigger for treatment has shifted. Early salvage radiotherapy is initiated by rising PSA levels, not by the pathological node status extracted during the operation. The patient absorbed the morbidity of an extended dissection to provide the surgeon with staging data, but that data is functionally a dead end because it fails to alter immediate downstream management. The clinical rationale for the extended dissection is being compressed from both ends of the patient timeline. If we look at the entire flowchart, we can bypass the operation entirely. A patient with a negative preoperative scan moves directly to postoperative PSA monitoring, leading to the exact same salvage protocols if the cancer returns. Does identifying microscopic disease justify deep vascular surgery if the patient will simply enter PSA surveillance regardless of what the surgeon finds? Treating the dissection as an automatic default risks over-treating patients who could be safely managed through modern, non-invasive surveillance. The urological community currently exists in clinical limbo, awaiting rigorous data to merge molecular imaging with existing surgical frameworks. 2 major prospective randomized controlled trials are currently underway to address this: pre-PSMA and PSMA Select. These studies are designed to prove whether the dissection can be safely omitted in patients with clean PET scans without sacrificing their long-term outcomes. Until those results are published, practicing clinicians must treat the extended dissection for exactly what it is: a staging tool, not a cure. Relying on it by default is a high-cost, high-morbidity data-gathering exercise, and its actual impact on patient survival is narrowing by the day.